you're pregnant. It's a plus. You're pregnant too.
Do not cry. We can have a baby shower together.
The latest whispers from the world of love and hip-hop are sending shockwaves through fans and followers alike. Rumors are swirling that Kirk Frost, the notoriously private mogul, has allegedly fathered a child with none other than Ciara, leaving the entire Atlanta reality TV scene in utter chaos. Social media is ablaze with fans scrambling to piece together what's real and what's speculation. While emotions run higher than ever, the twist. Rasheeda, Kirk's wife, is reportedly the one who uncovered the truth, and sources claim she did not stay silent. Viewers are hearing that in a dramatic confrontation, Rasheeda confronted Kirk in front of cameras, exposing secrets that many thought would never see the light of day. Families are being torn apart, friendships tested, and alliances shattered as the fallout spreads. The question on everyone's mind: can Rasheeda ever forgive? And will the family survive this latest scandal? Tonight, we dive into every shocking detail, every heated exchange, and the unbelievable reactions of those caught in the middle. Get ready, because the world of love and hip-hop just turned upside down, and nothing will ever be the same. Fans are left speechless. And you won't believe what happens next. The tension in the Frost's household had been simmering for weeks. But no one could have anticipated the bombshell that was about to drop. Rumors had been circulating online. Whispers of late-night meetings, secret calls, and unseen text messages between Kirk Frost and Ciara, a young model and aspiring singer with connections in Atlanta's music scene. Fans had noticed Ciara suddenly posting cryptic messages about new beginnings and unspoken truths. And some insiders claimed they had spotted her leaving a private mansion late at night. What started as quiet speculation quickly escalated into full-blown panic. When sources alleged that Ciara was expecting Kirk's child, the news spread like wildfire on social media, with hashtags trending and fans sharing clips, screenshots, and theories about what really happened. The energy around love and hip-hop was electric. Every viewer wanting to know if this scandal was real or just another fabricated drama for ratings. But soon, the story broke through the digital chatter to hit the Frosts personally. Rasheeda, Kirk's wife and a star in her own right, was reportedly the first to discover evidence that couldn't be ignored. Insiders say she came across a series of messages and photographs that suggested Kirk had been secretly meeting Ciara, and that the situation was far more serious than casual gossip. Emotions ran high as Rasheeda processed the betrayal. Close friends say she was heartbroken, angry, and in shock all at once, unsure if she could confront Kirk without losing control. The sources describe her as pacing through the house, tears in her eyes, a mix of fury and disbelief evident in every movement. The family that fans had always seen as composed and polished behind the cameras was suddenly raw and vulnerable. On the morning that everything came to a head, Kirk appeared at a family brunch, completely unaware of how much Rasheeda knew. Friends who were present recount that the atmosphere was tense from the moment he walked in. The usual banter and laughter replaced with awkward silences and forced smiles. Rasheeda, reportedly unable to hold back any longer, asked Kirk to step aside with her into the living room. Sources suggest that what followed was nothing short of explosive. She confronted him directly, her voice trembling yet firm, demanding the truth about his alleged encounters with Ciara. Kirk, according to eyewitnesses, initially tried to deflect, offering vague denials and half-hearted reassurances. But the mounting evidence and Rasheeda's unwavering gaze left him cornered. Emotions ran high, and the confrontation reportedly escalated quickly. Voices raised, tears streaming, and accusations flying from both sides. Friends and family who overheard the argument say they could hear Rasheeda demanding answers, her words sharp and unrelenting. "How long has this been going on?" she allegedly shouted. "I trusted you with everything, Kirk, and you've been lying to me behind my back." Kirk reportedly responded with defensive explanations, claiming that there were misunderstandings. But his attempts fell flat as Rasheeda produced photographs, screenshots, and even witness accounts. The room, once filled with warmth and laughter, had transformed into a storm of accusations and disbelief. Fans online were captivated as snippets of the confrontation began leaking, some claiming that Rasheeda's fury could be felt, even through the camera lens. What made the situation even more intense was the reaction of the extended family. Sources suggest that Kirk's mother and siblings were shocked, their expressions ranging from stunned silence to disbelief. Some tried to mediate, attempting to calm the storm and encourage rational conversation. But Rasheeda reportedly refused to let anyone intervene. She wanted the truth, and she wanted it from Kirk himself. Emotions were raw and loyalties were tested as the family tried to navigate a conversation that no one had been prepared for. Viewers watching the drama unfold on social media felt the intensity. Fans tweeting that they had never seen Rasheeda so vulnerable and furious at the same time. Additionally, insiders claim that Ciara herself was involved in private conversations. Though she stayed largely out of the public eye, friends of Ciara reportedly confirmed that she was aware of the rumors and was anxious about the consequences, while some speculated that Ciara might issue a statement or go public. Others suggested she wanted to avoid further scrutiny and protect her privacy. Despite her attempts to remain quiet, the story's intensity only grew. As every social media post, comment, and appearance was analyzed for clues, fans were obsessed, dissecting every image and clip, looking for any sign that could confirm or deny the allegations. The confrontation reportedly did not end quickly. Sources describe a scene of lingering tension, with Rasheeda moving from room to room, trying to collect her thoughts and manage her emotions. Kirk, meanwhile, allegedly attempted to explain himself, but the damage was already done. Trust, once foundational in their marriage, was shattered. Those present described a charged atmosphere where every word seemed to carry the weight of months of hidden secrets. Even minor comments sparked waves of emotion, and every glance between Kirk and Rasheeda was loaded with meaning. The family, fans, and everyone in the Atlanta reality circle felt the impact, as if a private moment had exploded into a public spectacle that could not be ignored as the day wore on. The drama extended beyond the home. Friends and colleagues of Kirk and Rasheeda reportedly began reaching out, offering support and trying to understand what had happened. Some insiders claimed that certain cast members of Love and Hip Hop were already strategizing how to incorporate the scandal into upcoming episodes, though others worried about the ethical implications of broadcasting such personal pain. The emotional stakes were high, with fans speculating endlessly about the potential outcomes. Would Rasheeda walk away from her marriage entirely? Could Kirk regain trust, or had the situation irreversibly changed everything? In the midst of the chaos, social media became a battlefield. Fans shared reactions ranging from outrage to sympathy, some defending Rasheeda fiercely, while others debated Kirk's actions and character. Hashtags spread rapidly, with supporters of both sides clashing in comment sections. Entertainment blogs picked up the story, some sensationalizing the events further, while others attempted careful reporting, emphasizing that the story was still unconfirmed and based on multiple sources. Despite the uncertainty, the narrative had taken hold, and the drama seemed poised to dominate conversation for weeks to come. The personal stakes only deepened when reports emerged that Kirk and Rasheeda's children had begun sensing the tension at home. Insiders say the children asked questions about why mom was upset or why dad seemed distant. Rasheeda reportedly struggled to balance protecting her kids from the harsh realities, while confronting Kirk and managing her own pain. Friends described the scene as heartrending, with a mix of family love, betrayal, and raw emotion colliding in one space. The family that had once appeared invincible on camera was now painfully human, and viewers couldn't look away. Throughout the day, the media frenzy grew. Paparazzi reportedly stationed themselves near Ciara's residence, hoping for a glimpse or a statement, while fans speculated endlessly on discussion forums. Every detail, no matter how small, was analyzed and shared widely. The combination of personal betrayal, public attention, and social media scrutiny created a perfect storm, amplifying the drama and making every reaction a story in itself. Insiders suggest that even friends who had stayed neutral found themselves pulled into the maelstrom, forced to take sides or provide statements that could further inflame tensions. Amidst this whirlwind, Rasheeda reportedly made a pivotal decision. She would not remain silent or passive. While some family members urged patience, she allegedly felt that exposing the truth was the only way to regain control and assert her dignity. Sources claim that she sat down with Kirk for an intense conversation, documenting everything, making it clear that she would no longer tolerate deception. Emotions, according to those close to the couple, were at an all-time high. And the outcome of that conversation would set the tone for weeks of further drama. The afternoon reportedly brought additional revelations. Friends of Ciara allegedly shared private details that painted a picture of a complicated situation, one that went beyond mere flirtation or casual encounters. Every new disclosure added fuel to the fire, and fans were left reeling, debating what was real and what was speculation. Insiders say that even within Kirk and Rasheeda's circle, opinions were divided, some urging reconciliation and forgiveness, while others encouraged Rasheeda to walk away completely. The tension was palpable, and the sense of uncertainty only made the story more captivating. As evening approached, those present at the Frost household described a scene of emotional exhaustion. Conversations slowed, tears were shed, and silence settled over the family like a heavy curtain. Yet the storm had not passed. Sources say that Rasheeda, determined and resolute, had made it clear that boundaries would be enforced and that Kirk's actions had lasting consequences. Even in quiet moments, the weight of betrayal and heartbreak lingered, setting the stage for what insiders say could be weeks of further dramatic confrontations. Fans online continued to speculate, knowing that the unfolding story was far from over. As night fell over Atlanta, the Frost's household was still in turmoil. The confrontation earlier had left emotional scars that no amount of apologies or explanations could easily mend. Rasheeda reportedly spent hours in her private room, pacing back and forth, her thoughts racing. Friends who visited say she was alternating between tears, anger, and quiet contemplation, trying to decide what her next move would be. The family, once united and seemingly unshakable, now felt fragmented, with each member navigating their own confusion and pain. The children, sensing the tension, were reportedly kept away from the full details, but the emotional atmosphere was impossible to hide. Meanwhile, Kirk's attempts to reach out and explain himself were met with resistance. Insiders claim that he tried multiple times to apologize and justify his actions, insisting that Ciara had misinterpreted certain interactions and that nothing serious had occurred. However, the evidence Rasheeda had uncovered made it impossible for her to accept half-hearted explanations. Sources suggest that her friends advised caution, warning her against making hasty decisions that could affect her children and her career. But Rasheeda's mind was already made up. She needed to confront the truth fully and assert her boundaries. The fallout extended beyond the household. Rumors of the scandal reached fellow cast members of Love and Hip Hop, many of whom reportedly began speculating on how the situation might be integrated into upcoming episodes. Some suggested that producers were eager to film a reunion special or an exclusive segment that captured the confrontation, while others worried about exploiting deeply personal pain for entertainment. Insiders say that while the network remained cautious publicly, behind the scenes there was palpable anticipation. Social media buzzed with speculation, fan theories, and outrage, creating a perfect storm for ratings and controversy. Ciara's role in the drama also began drawing attention. Sources close to her reportedly claimed that she was unaware of the full scope of the turmoil she had caused. Friends said she felt guilty for unintentionally becoming the center of a storm that affected a high-profile family. She reportedly reached out privately to offer clarifications, though nothing was made public. The speculation online continued to mount, with fans dissecting her every post, story, and appearance, trying to decipher hidden meanings or admissions. Insiders describe a situation where every word and gesture was scrutinized, creating immense pressure on all parties involved. One of the most dramatic moments came when Rasheeda decided to make her stance clear to Kirk in front of the family. Eyewitnesses say that she gathered everyone in the living room, her face set with determination, and addressed the situation directly. She allegedly told Kirk, "I cannot continue pretending everything is okay. You owe me the truth, and I need to know where we stand." The room reportedly went silent, the tension almost tangible. Kirk, reportedly caught off guard by the public nature of the confrontation, struggled to maintain composure. He attempted to speak, but Rasheeda reportedly interrupted, holding him accountable for every omission, every hidden conversation, and every lie. The confrontation reportedly escalated further when other family members began expressing their emotions. Some were shocked, others angry, and a few felt torn between loyalty to Kirk and sympathy for Rasheeda. According to sources, the discussion became heated at times, voices raising, tears falling, and long-held grievances spilling out. Fans who caught snippets online described the scene as raw and unfiltered, a side of reality television rarely captured with such intensity. Insiders noted that even those who had previously been indifferent to the Frosts' personal lives were captivated, with the story trending across social media platforms and entertainment sites. Worldwide, friends of Rasheeda reported that after the confrontation, she felt a mixture of empowerment and devastation. Insiders describe her making phone calls to trusted advisors, legal counsel, and close friends, seeking guidance and reassurance. She reportedly wanted to ensure that any decision she made would protect her children, her career, and her personal dignity. Sources suggest that in private moments, she reflected on the years of her marriage, the highs and lows, and the betrayal she now faced, realizing that the road ahead would be complicated and fraught with difficult choices. Kirk, meanwhile, reportedly faced immense pressure from multiple sides. Friends and colleagues allegedly encouraged him to publicly address the rumors, tempt damage control, and salvage his reputation. Some insiders say that Kirk felt trapped between defending himself and admitting the truth, knowing that any misstep could intensify the media storm and further alienate his family. Even loyal friends reportedly admitted that Kirk seemed anxious, distracted, and uncharacteristically vulnerable, aware that the consequences of the scandal were far-reaching and potentially life-altering. The social media reaction continued to intensify. Fans posted videos, memes, and heated debates, while some influencers claimed to have inside knowledge about the unfolding situation. The speculation about Ciara's pregnancy reportedly reached fever pitch, with followers dissecting every detail for confirmation. Blogs and entertainment sites began publishing stories with sensational headlines, while others cautioned readers that much of the information remained unverified. Insiders say that despite the uncertainty, the narrative had already cemented itself in public consciousness, ensuring that every action by Kirk, Rasheeda, or Ciara would be scrutinized in the days to come. In addition to public pressure, personal relationships were reportedly strained. Close friends of the couple described late-night conversations, tearful confessions, and attempts to mediate conflicts. Some tried to encourage forgiveness, while others urged Rasheeda to consider ending the marriage entirely. Insiders suggest that the emotional weight of the situation was affecting sleep, appetite, and mood, with the Frosts' personal and professional lives intersecting in a way that heightened tension at every turn. The following day brought additional revelations, as sources allege that new messages and private interactions were discovered, each adding more layers to the already complex situation. Fans online dissected every post and comment, looking for hints of guilt, remorse, or denial. Insiders claim that Kirk appeared increasingly defensive, while Rasheeda maintained a composed but firm presence, determined not to be manipulated or misled. The household reportedly felt like a pressure cooker, with emotions building to a point where even minor disagreements could trigger intense arguments. As the days went on, the family reportedly began trying to regain some semblance of normalcy, though the shadow of the scandal remained ever present. Sources describe moments of quiet reflection, heartfelt conversations between parents and children, and attempts to compartmentalize the turmoil from public life. Friends say Rasheeda focused on self-care, seeking therapy, and relying on her closest confidants for support. Kirk, according to insiders, attempted to navigate both personal remorse and public scrutiny, though the road to resolution appeared long and uncertain. Meanwhile, rumors about the potential impact on Love and Hip Hop continued to swirl. Insiders claim that producers were intrigued by the dramatic events and began strategizing how to capture the tension on camera without violating personal boundaries. The ethical dilemma of broadcasting intimate betrayals reportedly sparked debates among cast members and crew alike. Fans online speculated endlessly about whether scenes would be aired, what would be edited out, and how the fallout might affect future episodes. Throughout the ordeal, the personal and public spheres collided in unprecedented ways. Every text, social media post, and private conversation seemed to carry monumental weight. Sources suggest that both Kirk and Rasheeda were acutely aware that their decisions would be scrutinized by millions, amplifying stress and emotion. Insiders describe a situation in which trust, love, and loyalty were tested to the extreme, forcing each individual to confront uncomfortable truths about their relationships, values, and priorities. The drama reportedly reached another peak when family friends noticed subtle but unmistakable shifts in dynamics. Conversations became more cautious, body language more deliberate, and interactions tinged with unspoken tension. Insiders say that even routine activities like shared meals or casual gatherings were marked by the lingering presence of the scandal. The psychological impact, friends claim, was profound, leaving both Kirk and Rasheeda navigating a delicate balance between public perception and private reality. Fans online continued to debate endlessly. Posting theories about Kirk's motivations, Rasheeda's next moves, and Sierra's intentions. Insiders claim that every statement, photos, or video clip was dissected for clues, amplifying the sense of urgency and drama. The story had evolved beyond a private marital dispute into a public spectacle, where emotions, reputations, and careers were all on the line. As the drama intensified, insiders report that the tension between Kirk and Rasheeda began affecting their professional lives as well. Filming schedules for Love and Hip Hop reportedly became chaotic, with producers struggling to balance the unfolding personal scandal with production timelines. Cast members allegedly whispered among themselves, some expressing shock, others excitement at the potential drama that could boost ratings. Friends of the couple described a scenario in which every interaction was fraught with underlying tension, with even the simplest exchanges tinged with the weight of betrayal. The usually composed and charismatic Kirk reportedly appeared distracted, and sources say fans noticed a change in his demeanor during public appearances, interpreting his silence as guilt or regret. Rasheeda, according to insiders, became increasingly protective of her own image and that of her children. Friends claim she spent long hours strategizing her next steps, consulting close allies about how to handle the public eye, social media speculation, and potential television coverage. Sources describe her as meticulous, weighing each decision carefully, unwilling to allow emotions alone to dictate her actions. Yet, despite her measured approach, her vulnerability was evident, and viewers could sense the depth of hurt she felt from Kirk's alleged betrayal. The following week reportedly brought a series of private confrontations and emotionally charged meetings. Kirk allegedly tried to explain himself repeatedly, offering apologies, vague explanations, and promises of change. Rasheeda, according to eyewitness accounts, held firm, refusing to let his words mask the magnitude of the situation. She reportedly demanded accountability, making it clear that trust, once broken, could not be repaired with empty reassurances. Sources say their conversations often escalated into heated arguments, with long silences and tense stares punctuating every exchange. Friends who witnessed these moments describe a mixture of heartbreak, frustration, and raw emotion that left everyone involved emotionally drained as the narrative unfolded. Social media continued to fuel the fire. Fans dissected Kirk's past behavior, comparing current allegations with previous rumors. While supporters of Rasheeda flooded comment sections with messages of solidarity, insiders claim that every minor detail became fodder for debate. With theories about motives, timing, and responsibility multiplying by the hour, even casual observers reportedly found themselves engrossed in the unfolding drama, unable to look away from the story that seemed to blur the lines between personal betrayal and reality television spectacle. Meanwhile, Ciara reportedly remained a largely silent figure, though insiders suggest she privately struggled with the attention and speculation surrounding her. Friends claim that she feared backlash, unwanted publicity, and the potential impact on her career, while also grappling with the consequences of the alleged pregnancy. Despite her silence, the public's fascination with her role in the drama grew, with every social media post analyzed for hidden meanings or confirmations. Insiders describe a young woman caught in a whirlwind, aware that her name had become synonymous with scandal, and facing immense pressure from all sides. One of the most intense moments reportedly occurred during a family gathering. Friends who attended claimed that emotions were running high, with Rasheeda visibly tense and Kirk attempting to maintain composure. According to sources, Rasheeda addressed Kirk directly, stating that the alleged betrayal had consequences that could not be ignored. She reportedly said, "This is not just about us anymore. This affects our children, our family, and everyone who has trusted us. You need to understand the weight of what you've done." Kirk, according to eyewitnesses, appeared stunned and struggled to respond, the reality of the situation seemingly sinking in. Insiders suggest that the confrontation spilled over into private conversations with family members and friends. Some reportedly attempted to mediate, encouraging forgiveness or suggesting temporary separation, while others took a firmer stance, advising Rasheeda to consider ending the marriage entirely. The conflicting advice added to the emotional complexity, leaving her feeling torn between loyalty, love, and self-preservation. Sources describe a scene where every decision felt monumental, with long-lasting implications for personal relationships and public perception. The media frenzy intensified as insiders claimed that snippets of conversations, private messages, and leaked photographs began circulating online. Social media platforms were flooded with speculation, commentary, and fan reactions. Hashtags related to the scandal trended consistently, and entertainment blogs amplified the story, with some focusing on dramatic details and others attempting to fact-check or provide context. The constant online scrutiny reportedly weighed heavily on Kirk and Rasheeda, adding another layer of stress to an already volatile situation. Friends of Rasheeda describe a phase in which she reportedly sought to reclaim her narrative. She allegedly engaged with her inner circle, discussing strategies to protect her children, her career, and her emotional well-being. Insiders suggest that she wanted to ensure that any public statements or appearances would reflect strength, dignity, and control, even while navigating personal pain. Sources indicate that this approach garnered admiration from some fans, who praised her resilience and composure in the face of adversity. Kirk, on the other hand, reportedly faced growing pressure from multiple fronts. Friends say he tried to negotiate public perception, reaching out to colleagues, media outlets, and even fellow cast members for advice on how to handle the scandal. Sources describe him as increasingly introspective, aware that every word, gesture, or public appearance could influence public opinion and potentially define his legacy. The dual challenge of personal accountability and public image management reportedly weighed heavily on him, creating a tense environment that few could navigate successfully amid the chaos. Insiders claim that certain family members attempted to create moments of reconciliation, encouraging private discussions away from cameras and social media. Friends report that these moments were often tentative, filled with pauses, difficult questions, and emotional vulnerability. While progress was slow, some sources suggest that these conversations allowed the family to express emotions honestly, though the underlying tension and uncertainty remained palpable. The speculation surrounding Ciara reportedly continued to dominate social media discourse. Insiders claim that every interaction, social media post, and public appearance was examined for signs of confirmation or denial. Friends describe Ciara as cautious, aware that any statement could exacerbate the situation or attract unwanted attention. Sources suggest that she focused on maintaining privacy, though the intense public curiosity made that increasingly difficult. The combination of personal consequence and public scrutiny reportedly created a high-stress environment, with long-lasting emotional impact for everyone involved. Additionally, insiders allege that Rasheeda began considering her future, weighing options related to her career, public image, and personal happiness. Friends describe her as introspective yet determined, reflecting on what she deserved in a relationship and how to move forward without compromising her values. Sources claim that she was intent on making choices that prioritized her children and her sense of self-worth, demonstrating a balance of resilience and vulnerability that resonated with fans. The social media storm continued unabated. Discussions ranged from expressions of support and outrage to theories about the impact on love and hip-hop. Insiders suggest that the pressure of constant public scrutiny created a unique challenge for both Kirk and Rasheeda, forcing them to navigate complex personal emotions while under the gaze of millions. Friends describe moments of frustration, anxiety, and emotional fatigue, with both parties seeking refuge in close confidants and trusted advisors, according to sources. The ongoing saga reached a new intensity when private communications between Kirk and Ciara were reportedly revealed to Rasheeda. Friends claim that these messages added additional context and emotional weight to the situation, leaving her more resolute in her stance. Insiders describe a period of heightened emotional tension, private confrontations, tearful reflections, and thoughtful planning characterizing the days that followed. The story, insiders say, was far from over, with each revelation creating ripple effects that affected relationships, public perception, and the broader reality TV landscape. Throughout all of this, friends and family reportedly continued to grapple with divided loyalties. Some expressed anger toward Kirk, others sympathy for Ciara, and many stood firmly behind Rasheeda. Insiders suggest that these shifting dynamics created a delicate social environment in which every interaction was charged with meaning, and every decision carried significant weight. Friends describe a complex interplay of personal and public pressures, making navigation of daily life increasingly challenging for all involved. The relentless cycle of drama, confrontation, and speculation reportedly persisted, leaving both Kirk and Rasheeda in a state of heightened emotional awareness. Insiders claim that even small moments-passing conversations, brief encounters, or social media interactions carried emotional significance. Friends describe a sense of exhaustion mixed with determination, as both attempted to assert control over an increasingly unpredictable narrative. As the weeks progressed, the emotional fallout from the alleged scandal reportedly reached new heights. Friends of the couple described a fragile equilibrium at home, where every word, glance, and action seemed laden with unspoken tension. Rasheeda reportedly maintained a strong exterior, but insiders say that those close to her could sense the lingering heartbreak beneath her composed appearance. She allegedly focused on her children, ensuring that they remained shielded from the most damaging aspects of the turmoil, while also carving out time to process her own feelings privately. Kirk, according to sources, continued to navigate the dual challenges of personal accountability and public perception. Friends claim he spent hours reflecting on past decisions, attempting to understand how private actions had erupted into a scandal with nationwide attention. Insiders describe moments of vulnerability, where Kirk reportedly confided in close allies, expressing remorse, anxiety, and a deep awareness of the consequences. Despite efforts to reconcile, friends say he sensed that the path forward would be long, complicated, and fraught with public scrutiny. Additionally, The dynamics between Rasheeda and the extended family reportedly became more complex. Insiders claim that relatives previously loyal to Kirk began questioning their positions, weighing support for him against empathy for Rasheeda. The tension in family gatherings was described as almost tangible, with every interaction feeling like a delicate negotiation. Sources suggest that long-held alliances were tested, friendships strained, and loyalties reevaluated as the emotional impact of the alleged betrayal continued to unfold. The media and social media attention reportedly did not relent. Fans analyzed every move by Kirk, Rasheeda, and Ciara, creating a constant feedback loop of speculation, commentary, and debate. Insiders describe situations in which even mundane activities, shopping trips, gym visits, or casual outings were scrutinized for evidence of reconciliation, guilt, or conflict. The pressure of living under such intense observation reportedly intensified emotions at home, making private moments difficult to protect and amplifying the sense of urgency surrounding every decision. Ciara's position, according to sources, remained precarious. Friends suggest that while she tried to stay private, the constant speculation and attention weighed heavily on her. Insiders claim that she sought advice from trusted confidants, trying to navigate the situation without escalating public controversy. Yet the public fascination made it increasingly difficult. The complexity of her role caught between alleged involvement with Kirk and the scrutiny of fans and media created a challenging environment in which every choice carried emotional and reputational consequences. Friends of Rasheeda reportedly observed that she grew more deliberate and strategic over time. She allegedly began planning statements, appearances, and social media posts with care, ensuring that her words reflected strength, dignity, and clarity. Insiders describe a woman reclaiming her narrative, asserting control over her personal story, and demonstrating resilience even while managing deep emotional pain. Sources suggest that this determination earned her admiration from fans, who praised her ability to maintain composure in a situation that could have easily spiraled out of control. The tension between Kirk and Rasheeda, insiders claim, led to numerous private conversations aimed at establishing boundaries and rebuilding trust, or deciding that trust could not be rebuilt. Friends describe long discussions, occasional tears, and periods of silence as both navigated the implications of the alleged betrayal. Insiders suggest that even when words were exchanged calmly, the weight of the situation remained palpable, leaving emotional scars that would take time to heal. Additionally, insiders allege that the drama affected professional relationships. Some friends and collaborators reportedly hesitated to engage with Kirk or Rasheeda publicly, concerned about being drawn into the controversy. Producers and cast members of Love and Hip Hop were reportedly careful in planning shoots and appearances, balancing the need to capture compelling content with ethical considerations surrounding personal turmoil. Insiders describe a tense atmosphere on set, with cast and crew acutely aware of the emotional undercurrents shaping every interaction. Social media remained a central force in amplifying the story. Insiders say that fan theories, commentary, and speculation fueled the narrative continuously. Friends of the couple describe situations in which comments, tweets, or posts triggered emotional reactions, underscoring the challenge of managing private feelings under the glare of public scrutiny. Sources suggest that both Kirk and Rasheeda were conscious of the impact of every online interaction, with minor details magnified into major points of discussion. The alleged scandal, reportedly, reached a turning point when friends claim Rasheeda decided to prioritize her own well-being and that of her children above all else. Insiders describe a moment of clarity in which she reportedly recognized the need to set firm boundaries, even if it meant difficult choices regarding the marriage. Friends suggest that this decision empowered her, giving her a sense of control in an otherwise unpredictable situation. The emotional intensity of the prior weeks, combined with careful planning and support from trusted allies, allowed her to approach the situation with renewed focus and determination. Kirk, Sources say faced a corresponding reckoning. Insiders claim he was forced to confront the consequences of past decisions and acknowledge the deep impact on his family. Friends describe moments of introspection, during which he reportedly realized the magnitude of the trust lost and the long-term work required to repair. Relationship SIF repair was even possible. Insiders suggest that this self-awareness marked a shift in his approach, with efforts to demonstrate accountability and sensitivity in both private and public contexts. Despite the emotional strain, insiders report moments of tentative reconnection between Kirk and Rasheeda, though always cautious and measured. Friends suggest that these moments were fragile, punctuated by reminders of past betrayal, yet also marked by glimpses of shared history and emotional bonds that had endured over time. Insiders describe a careful navigation of feelings, where neither party rushed reconciliation, but acknowledged the complex emotions that had shaped their lives together. Meanwhile, the broader reality TV community reportedly remained captivated. Cast members, fans, and entertainment outlets continued to follow every development closely, with speculation about potential on-camera revelations and off-camera resolutions dominating conversations. Insiders claim that the story became a case study in emotional complexity, blending private heartbreak with public spectacle, and illustrating the challenges of maintaining personal integrity. Under constant observation, friends of Rasheeda reportedly emphasized her resilience throughout the ordeal. Sources describe her maintaining focus on her children, her career, and her own emotional health. Even amid relentless scrutiny, insiders suggest that her approach inspired admiration from both friends and fans, who saw a woman balancing vulnerability and strength in a highly challenging environment. The narrative, insiders say, served as a reminder that personal dignity and emotional clarity could coexist even in the most turbulent circumstances. By the end of this period, insiders claim that the family began to stabilize. Though the shadow of the alleged scandal lingered, friends describe an environment where emotions remained raw but more controlled, private conversations more deliberate, and social media interactions more cautious. Sources suggest that while the path forward was still uncertain, both Kirk and Rasheeda were engaged in a process of reflection, accountability, and careful decision-making, aware that the consequences of the alleged betrayal would be felt for months or even years. The alleged scandal also reportedly prompted broader reflection among the Frosts' friends and colleagues. Insiders say that conversations about loyalty, honesty, and personal boundaries became more common, with friends reassessing relationships and expectations. The emotional intensity of the situation, coupled with the public attention it received, provided both cautionary lessons and opportunities for growth. Friends describe a social environment marked by heightened awareness, empathy, and a renewed focus on supporting one another through challenging circumstances. Throughout this entire period, insiders emphasize that Rasheeda's primary focus remained her children and her sense of self-worth. Friends claim she remained vigilant in protecting their emotional well-being, shielding them from the worst aspects of the turmoil while modeling resilience, honesty, and personal strength. Insiders describe a woman navigating unprecedented challenges with courage and determination, demonstrating that even in the most difficult circumstances, careful thought, emotional clarity, and a commitment to personal values could guide decisions. The story, insiders suggest, remained unresolved, with lingering questions about Kirk's accountability, Sierra's intentions, and the future of the Frosts family. The emotional complexity, combined with public scrutiny, created a narrative that fascinated fans and observers alike, illustrating the enduring appeal and drama of reality television while highlighting the human dimensions of betrayal, loyalty, and forgiveness. As the dust began to settle, insiders describe a cautious optimism among the family. Friends report moments of tentative calm, measured conversations, and deliberate steps toward personal healing. The aftermath of the alleged scandal reportedly left scars, but also a newfound awareness of priorities, values, and the importance of clear communication. Insiders suggest that while the future remained uncertain, the family had begun a slow and careful process of reconstruction, navigating the delicate balance between private reality and public spectacle. The saga of Kirk Frost. Rasheeda and Ciara has left fans reeling, emotions running high, and the reality TV world buzzing like never before. While the details are shocking, the story also raises bigger questions about trust, loyalty, and the consequences of private actions in the public eye. Viewers have witnessed a family divided, a marriage tested, and a young woman caught in the center of a scandal that seems almost too intense for reality television. Insiders suggest that despite moments of tentative reconciliation, the shadow of betrayal will linger, leaving both Kirk and Rasheeda navigating a delicate path between accountability, healing, and the pressures of fame. Fans continue to speculate, sharing opinions, debating motives, and wondering what the next chapter of this saga will reveal. This story is far from over, and every twist, every revelation, and every emotional confrontation has left viewers on the edge of their seats. Will Rasheeda fully forgive? Can Kirk rebuild trust with his family? What role will Ciara play in the unfolding drama? The answers remain uncertain, keeping fans engaged and hungry for updates. The combination of personal stakes, public scrutiny, and emotional intensity makes this one of the most talked about stories in love and hip-hop history. We want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Rasheeda will walk away or give Kirk another chance? How do you feel about the alleged pregnancy rumors involving Ciara? Share your opinions in the comments below and let us know what you think will happen next. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed our coverage, and subscribe to stay updated on every shocking detail as this drama continues to unfold. Stay tuned, because in the world of love and hip-hop, nothing is ever simple, and the next twist could be just around the corner.